Hey, what's up you guys? So today I'm gonna do something a little bit differently than what I usually do for you guys. As some of you may know, Deadpool 2 was released on Blu-ray, except in this case they released a super duper cut on Blu-ray, which was an unrated extended edition of the movie. I bought my copy the day it was released last Tuesday. I finally got around to watching it this weekend, and I want to give you my thoughts on it. More importantly, I want to answer the question that's probably on a lot of fans' minds right now. Is the super duper cut better than the original version? Because you look at a couple superhero movies like Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, two movies that were very flawed, and I'm guilty of being one of those people who was a lot nicer about Suicide Squad when it came out. It's just, that summer was brutal, guys. It actually was bad enough to make Suicide Squad look great. However, when they were released on Blu-ray, they both got extended cuts, and after watching the extended cuts for them, I was able to say they were improvements over the theatrical versions. Major improvements? Not necessarily, but improvements nonetheless. They may have thrown an extra scene into the movie or altered something in the movie to give the movie a little more context, make it flow a little bit better. In this case, I already felt Deadpool 2 was a really good movie on its own, but I wanted to see if this extended cut could make it a little bit better. After having watched the super duper cut, I can now confirm with you guys, I think it is a slight improvement over the theatrical version for Deadpool 2. I'm not going to do a full review for the super duper cut, nor am I going to talk about every single change that I found in this version. I'm just going to talk about the things that this thing did that I felt made the movie better. Oh, and just for the record, there will still be some spoilers in this review because, you know, this is my channel, so if you haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet, it's on you. Although I won't say it's necessarily on you if you haven't seen the super duper cut yet. Go out, buy the super duper cut, then come back and watch this video. There you go. One thing this version does is it does alter a few scenes of dialogue to make the jokes that they originally had a little more crude, a little more over the line, a little more testy. I love when humor goes over the line. That's my kind of humor, so some of the altered jokes they made I actually found really funny, even funnier than the theatrical version. But in particular, I want to talk about the 3 scenes that were added into this cut that I felt made it an improvement. The first one is in the super duper cut, we get a couple more moments of Wade trying to kill himself. You know, it was right after Vanessa was killed, and he goes to talk to his old blind roommate, and you know, she tells him how we haven't lived until we've died a little bit. In the theatrical version, we just see Deadpool try to blow himself up. In this one, we see a couple more instances. There's one moment he's at a zoo, and he just throws himself into a polar bear exhibit so the polar bear can eat him, and all these children who are seeing this are completely mortified and traumatized. And then there's another moment he's on top of a building, and he just drinks a bunch of detergent, and then he jumps off the building and falls into a bloody mess, and people are just looking at him terrified and amazed that he survived. He's just cracking jokes the whole time he does both these instances. Those 2 moments I thought were really funny and definitely added some more humor to this movie. The second one I want to talk about is this one delves a little bit more into Russell Firefist's backstory. In the theatrical version, you know, we talk about how, you know, he was severely abused by this orphanage for these mutants, you know, how he was tortured and he wants to kill the headmaster. In the theatrical version, you don't see a whole lot about why he wants to do it. You just, you know, you hear things about it. In the super duper cut, you get a little bit more of a glimpse of it. In this edition, you see Russell arrive at the orphanage and the headmaster is telling him how being a mutant is wrong. You get an extended look of him being tortured. This edition shows a little bit more about how Russell was treated and why he has such this pursuit of vengeance against the headmaster. You really see more of how he was treated like shit. So that right there gave the movie a little more context, and it also made the movie flow a little bit smoother for me. And now getting into the third and final one, I talked about in my review for Deadpool 2 how the post-credit scenes, or like the scenes during the credits, were some of the funnier moments in the movie. They add a credit scene in this edition that's actually pretty fucking hilarious. You've probably heard of it by now, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. So Deadpool's still playing around with Cable's time travel watch. He goes back in time to when Adolf Hitler was a baby. So he's standing over him in the nursing room, and he's going back and forth contemplating whether or not he should kill him or what he should do. And Deadpool's like trying to rationalize, like, oh my gosh, if I do this, I rid the world of one of the biggest pieces of shit ever, but it's still just a baby. Oh my god, I'm gonna go to hell. And then in this case, you actually get a legit post-credit scene of him just, you know, holding baby Hitler, cradling him, and he's like, you know what, I can't do this. I'm just gonna bring Cable back. He loves killing kids. That moment for me was just so hilarious. It's just, it's funny, it's fucked up, it's kind of thought-provoking. I mean, really, if I was in his shoes, I don't know what I would do. It's like, yeah, he's gonna grow up and become one of the biggest pieces of shit ever, but it's still a baby. I thought it was great. I love the way they showed how Deadpool would handle it. But all in all, I really liked Deadpool 2 when it was released in theaters. I feel this cut, though, brings it up a little bit for me. You know, for me, it flows a little bit better. It adds a little bit more context. It adds some jokes that were really funny. Although I will say, even with the super duper cut, I still think the first Deadpool is the best one. Some of the flaws that I already mentioned that I had with Deadpool 2 in my original review for it, those flaws are still there, but they added some stuff in there that I thought made the movie a little bit better. It added some more pros to it. And in the end, I already felt Deadpool 2 was a great sequel to Deadpool. Now my opinion just stands more firmly. That's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe. I will see you all next time.